I am not going to sit today. So we'll bring this over here. See if that works. That'll work. How are we doing today?
Good. Right on time?
We are right on time. So this is what I need to deal with. I come all the way up here to be harassed by the office manager. So how's everybody doing?
Great. Very good.
How many minutes are in the day?
Well, I don't know.
1,000, 3,000.
1,400.
He's the math guy, you guys know that.
1,400 minutes. How many minutes do we sleep?
8.
8 minutes?
Hours.
Now you're talking about my schedule. So what's 8 times 6?
48.
480. So for around 1,400 minutes, and 480 minutes of those are spent with our eyes closed. Okay? Which leaves us 920 minutes a day, every day, to be productive. Who sleeps 8 hours? Do you? Good for you. That's fantastic. I'm good for 6. And I don't wear that as a badge of pride or anything like that, but I don't sleep all that well, continuously. I'm in, out, in, out. But I go to sleep at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, and I get up around 4:30. But I'm probably sleeping for about 6 of those hours. So, but again, we're all, there's something to be said, and I was talking about this a little while ago, with what people expect from the day. So if you're given 1,400 minutes in a day, how many minutes does Steve Jobs get? Did he get?
1,400.
1,400. All right, how many Bill Gates? 1,400. So when we start saying there's not enough time in the day, or not enough time, I don't have enough time, it's not I don't have enough time, it's I'm not using my time properly. Okay? And the funny thing about that stuff is this all comes down to that very stark figure that we have to answer to every morning. And it's looking back at us every day in the mirror. Right? Am I successful? And you go and you look in the mirror and you go, not yet, or no, oh my God, or yes, I am. Whatever you're saying, but it's you're the only person that you actually have to answer to. And the funny thing is we're all given that same bank account of time. And what does everybody say? What's our most valuable resource or asset? Our time. So we're all given the exact amount of time, the same. So do you think, here's another question for you. If I came around today and I gave everybody $10,000, okay? And everyone goes, woo, right? But 10 grand. And said, here, this is for a month. Some of you would run out of money 2 or 3 weeks in. Some of you would have $8,000 left at the end of the month. We would all spend our money differently. Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay, just like our time. All right, years ago when I was doing financial planning, I worked with unions. Right, and Deb, you would understand this. You worked for the police, and you guys, so you understand. So everybody, you all make about the same thing, right? But didn't everybody have dynamically different lifestyles? Like I worked for the railroad union. Okay, so I would walk into these guys' houses, and some of them had these beautiful houses up in Huntington Harbor, and it looked down on the water, and you'd have sailboats out there, and you over there, and this and that. You'd be like, wow, this guy's really got it going on. And then he'd give you a referral to one of his buddies, and you'd go to like an inner city kind of neighborhood, right? He'd have a 60-inch TV screen on or back then it was 40-inch, and that was big, but he'd have a 40-inch TV on 2 milk crates and a blanket in the living room, and he'd have $30,000 in credit card debt. And when I asked the guy who had the house on the hill and the whole thing, I said, man, you're doing great. And he'd look at me and go, dude, I make $125,000 a year. Of course I'm doing great. And then I go to his buddy's house who had nothing and had all this debt, and I'd say, how you doing? He's like, oh man, I only make 125 grand a year. I can barely get my bills paid. Right? It's how we spend our money. It's how we spend our time. It's when you go to sleep at night and you wake up the next day and you're like, oh my God, I'm late. You know, and you're running around like, I have no time, I have no time, I have no time. It's what are you doing with it? Because we're all given the same amount. And it's the best analogy I can draw when I saw those guys, because every one of them was like that. And I'm sure you guys, you know, you ladies being in the industry, being in unions, knew people who had like their retirement all handled, everything was straight, they owned businesses, everything. Then other people could barely get their bills paid. And they were all making the same amount of money. So it's the same thing with time. How are you using your time, and how do you utilize your time daily? And the most important thing is, how do we schedule it? All right, so today what we're going to go through, there's handouts up in the front. So these are kind of laws to live by. All right, it's the 45 laws of using your time, utilizing your time. We're going to go through them. We're going to talk about them. So if it's not in your schedule, it doesn't exist. Okay? And if you start planning your world like this, the funny thing happens when you actually schedule your time. You get more. Okay? Just like when you save money. Right? If every month you say, I'm going to put $500 a month away. Okay? And you just do it like it's a bill. At the end of the year, you have $6,000. You go, whoa, I can't even believe I did that. How many people have a change bank? Right? And every now and again, you empty it out at Vons into the change thing. You're like, $100, you know, like in like quarters, dimes, and nickels that you never even thought of, right? That you never thought, because it's just saving a little bit. Okay? In time, it's just like scheduling your time. If you schedule everything out, all of a sudden you go, wow, I don't have anything to do between 5 and 7, or I have appointments that time, right? And I have more time on my hands than I don't. One of the things that I learned was when I quit smoking. Okay? There were 2 things that I noticed when I quit smoking. Number 1, I always used to carry a pack of cigarettes in my hand. So all of a sudden I was like walking around with nothing in my hand, right? And number 2, I came up with an enormous amount of free time, because I wasn't always running out saying, right after this cigarette. Now, I'm not saying quit smoking or anything like that, but when I had to smoke, I found the time. Okay, and it was, you carve out those things. And there's a saying that says that your life will encompass the time you give it. Okay, just like who has waited to do a presentation till like the night before, or who has kids who they come to you at, you know, Sunday night at 8 o'clock and like, my science project is due, and you're like, oh, what's your science project? I got to build a volcano tomorrow. And you're like, oh my God, why did you wait till the last minute?
Or at 7:30 they want cookies made for that day.
Yeah, but do you get it done? Yeah.
Yeah, I run to the store really quick.
But you get it done, right? You get it done. Because we can fit anything we need to into our time frame. Okay, but imagine if you scheduled it out, how much less frazzled you'd be. And that's the beauty of it. All right, so I would urge you, and most of you are in the 100-day challenge where you're doing your ideal schedule. And those of you who aren't in the 100-day challenge, create an ideal schedule. But your ideal schedule should be on a weekly basis. Okay, now what I did in that was I put it in weekly tabs. But if you notice, after about the 3rd or 4th week, the schedules are blank. Okay? Now there's a reason behind that. Because I don't want you to write your schedule over and over and over again. by the third or fourth week of this challenge, you should have a pretty set schedule that you can just cut and paste, right? And then adjust a couple things here and there. And that is what starts creating a predictable business, or a predictable lifestyle, or better yet, a predictable Monday. Who can't do better without a predictable day in their life, right? That says, okay, on Monday I'm doing this. And if you start scheduling that, it starts happening. If it's not in your schedule, it doesn't exist. The Kavanaugh hearings. Who here watched that stuff on TV? The Justice Kavanaugh, when he was being raked over the coals about what he did in high school and all these other things. And he brought out his calendar, okay? And he brought it out in front of Congress, and he said, this is my calendar, this is where I was, this is what I did. And they were looking at this thing like, oh my God. I mean, he had everything as a high school kid scheduled out, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, party, you know, barf at the barn party. He had all these crazy things written in there, but it was scheduled. And the funny thing is, I saw it, and I went, well, yeah, right? And other people were looking at it like, who would do that? You know, he must have created that just for this. Folks, it's impossible to create something that detailed if you don't write it. And something your schedule, your calendar, should be a diary looking back of what you did, and a schedule for looking forward on what you're going to do. And once you create that and you put it in your calendar, when someone asks you for a ride to the airport, or asks you to go out to lunch or something like that, and you say, let me check. And you go into your calendar and you're like, oh yeah, I have time for that, let's do that. Right? You respect your time more, and they respect your time more. All right? I'm going to continue to go back to money all the time, because if I walked up to you and said, do you got 20 minutes that you and I could spend right now and talk? Most of you would be like, sure, great. You got $100 I can have? Most people say what? Yeah, kind of tight on dough, all right? Even if you're not, most people don't want to just hand out money, but they're giving of their time. Okay, and the time is a much more valuable asset. But if you don't have anything scheduled, someone says, can we talk? You're like, absolutely, I got nothing to do, so let me get busy. Okay, let's play real estate. Right, I get a lot of that in the office and just in talking with agents. Like, if we're just talking about real estate, I'm in the game. No, you're not. Okay, unless you're talking to real estate, buy, sell, invest, do you want to do business with me? You are just playing the game. Okay, so if it's not in your schedule, it doesn't exist, which means scheduling, and we're going to go through this, but scheduling the next thing, days off, holidays, okay, vacations, birthdays, date nights, exercise sessions, doctor appointments, everything that will give you balance in your life. Okay, do all of you have, again, in the challenge, what I asked you to do is create an ideal schedule, but even better yet, a morning routine. Okay, do you know what you do every morning? Okay, all the training you'll be personally and professionally. Okay, what I do when I grab every month I fill out the West Shores schedule, and I put all that stuff in, and I start to create this calendar around, there's brochures up on top, and I create my calendar around the places that I have to be, right? And then I start carving out, where am I going to prospect? What am I, when am I going to eat lunch? Okay, that's important to actually write down. Yes, I'm going to eat lunch today. Yes, ma'am.
What days do you take off?
What days do I take off?
Do you take 1 day a week off? 2 days a week?
Yeah, normally I am not working on Sunday, but I'm available. Like when I do my open houses, I'll usually do a Saturday open house, and I'll take Sundays to do personal stuff. All right, whether I do band rehearsal or go out with my wife or something like that, we'll always pick something to do on a Sunday. We'll go hiking, something to that effect, just get out of town. Very rarely will I spend Sunday at the beach. Why?
Because it's crowded.
Because I live at the beach, okay? It's like, You know, if I want to go to the beach, I'm going to go in the morning. I'm going to go when there's no people. I don't want to be sitting around a bunch of people yelling and screaming. I have no time for that. I love the beach in October when no one's there and it's my beach. July, I can't stand it. But that's, you know, my wife and I spend a lot of time getting out of the South Bay on our days off, okay? Also, you know, we try to schedule lunches together. You know, some of you will see my wife come up, or we'll meet for lunch and just go and sit and just hang out and talk, all right? And those are scheduled in, where, you know, whether they're scheduled that day or a couple weeks in advance. You know, today I was leaving and I said, hey, I'm doing lunch at 12:30 today. What's your schedule? And she's like, oh, I got a 1 o'clock. I can't make it. I said, all right, I'll see you tonight, all right? But it's the idea of knowing I'm doing lunch at 12:30. Okay, and that's really important in your world and just in your diet to know when you're going to eat, right? Okay. All the activities from your business, role playing, planning time, prospecting, lead follow-up, office meetings, staff meetings, and your appointments. What's Monday? Office meeting. Okay. I love it when I talk to people and they're like, that's Monday? I'm like, yeah, man, okay. It's been in the calendar. There's a schedule hanging on the wall in my office. Like, how do you not know these things? You know, my office hours. Like, if you guys ever want to meet with me one-on-one, I have scheduled office hours that you can just email me, say, hey, let's get together, and I am yours. All right, 90 minutes on Monday, 90 minutes on Wednesday. Call me and schedule it. I'm yours. Drop into my office. I can be doing any number of tasks. Okay, and I would love to spend the time with you, but again, I'm trying to run a business and I'm trying to help, ready for this, 55 other agents run their business. Okay? Now, that said, I'm not saying I don't have time for you. I'm just saying, if I just said, my door's open, come talk to me whenever you have time. Okay? You know when I get inundated with people coming in, because that's when they're 12:15 on Monday. Everybody wants to talk to me right after Shark Academy. All right, folks, I just been running and dancing for 2 hours, okay? And I still have you got 5 minutes, you got 5 minutes, you got 5 I'm like, in a minute, you know, and I'm kind of pushing people off, and they leave, and they're like, he's never available. I'm like, yeah, I am. All right, Monday night at 4:30, I sit in my office with the door open, Lisa as my witness, right? Checking my Facebook likes, right? That's my office time. No agents come in. Around 6:15, they start showing up for a 6 o'clock class to do phone clinic, right? And then they go, you got a minute? No, now I got to get on the phone, right? Oh, no, he never has any time, right? Follow your schedule. I'll follow my schedule. It's amazing. We will spend so much time together. It's frightening. Okay? Lisa and Martine have scheduled times when we sit down and we talk. Who doesn't show up for our meetings? Me or you? You. Right? I'm always there because it's scheduled in my book. If I have you scheduled, I'm going to be there. And that's how you guys should live too. Because when you sit and you talk to people and you say, I'll put you in my schedule. Now it's like solid, right? And you believe in it, they should believe in it. Your kids, family, your husbands, your wives, everybody involved with your world. Once you've laid out your schedule for the year, I'm saying for the month, imagine sitting down and laying out your schedule for the year. All right? How many weeks are in the year? 52. How many weeks do we really work?
52 and 53.
53, right? Yeah.
I say I work 8 days a week and 24
Yep.
hours a day.
But you know what? In all honesty, what most people work. How many weeks did you get in the union? They got like 6 weeks off, paid vacation, 4 weeks.
Oh, yeah. Depends on how long you're there, but normally 2 to 4.
2 to 4 weeks paid vacation, right? Then you had sick days and you had personal days and holidays and all this other stuff. You got, by the end of the day, you had like 4 or 6 weeks. Okay, and that's normal for a normal work week. Okay, but what we do is we go, oh no, I work every day. Do you? Do you? Because if you do, you're working too much. You're not handling your time properly. Lay out your schedule for the year and say, these are the days I'm going to work, these are the days I'm going to take off. And then try your hardest to follow that. Okay? Schedule your days off like that's an appointment. As important as a listing appointment. Okay, because what happens when we have a listing appointment? What happens to your schedule?
We call you.
Yeah. But what happens to your schedule? Like, forget that, let's go do this, right? But what if you schedule in time and say Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm available for listing appointments between this date and this date? All right, Jillian is one of my coaching clients. Every Monday, without fail, I get a text. You know what the text says? When are you available to go on appointments? And I tell them, and the days don't change. I say Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, afternoon after 3:30. If you make an appointment, tell me sooner than later, and I'll try to get, and I'll make myself available. And she says, okay, great. Okay, if she makes an appointment, we go. If we don't, the time was there. Okay, and for you, now she puts that in when she's talking to a client, and she says, Deb, do you want to get together to see what your home is worth? I have Tuesday and Thursday available at 4 o'clock. Which one works better for you? Not, when do you want to get together? I'll come anytime. Who sounds like the professional? When you call a doctor's office, what do you say? I'm dying. I need to see the doctor. And what do they say?
Next week.
Yeah. Our next open appointment is in 3 weeks. Like, I'll be dead by then. You got anything sooner? We'll call you if we get a cancellation. Okay? Be on purpose and outcome driven versus distraction and emergency driven. We just went through that. When you don't have a schedule, your life and your business are driven by distractions and reactions. Okay? You wake up and go, oh my God, this is what I have to do today. Right? You read an email and you're like, I don't even have time to drink a cup of coffee. I got to go. As opposed to saying everything is scheduled and we're going to be on time. We're going to make this happen. All right, folks, do you think I could actually make it to the office every day at 9:15 to get on a 15 to 20 minute Facebook video looking fresh, ready to go, if I didn't have that scheduled and know the night before exactly what I was going to do, what I was going to say, topics I was going to discuss? Like, that's got to be scheduled out, right? Just like your day, and that's just my morning, okay? To force you to stay on your schedule, simply tell everyone about your schedule, right? I don't care if you tell your cat, your dog, your significant other, right? Review your schedule the night before with somebody. Okay, grab a accountability partner, talk about it. Maybe once a week you grab your accountability partner and say, hey, every Friday we're going to go on Brokers Opens together and eat lunch. Okay, here's a hint. If you're going to go on Brokers Opens to eat lunch, go early. Number one, the food is fresh and all the dirty hands didn't touch it yet. Okay.
That's right.
Otherwise, what I do is I go to Brokers Open and then I go to lunch. Right? I go out, I spend the day at Brokers Opens, bouncing around. By then I'm pretty hungry. Right? And then I go and I sit down for an hour and I decompress. And if I'm with somebody, we discuss the houses that we saw. Pretty novel idea, right? Anyone who ever wants to go on Brokers Opens with me, I normally go Thursday and Fridays. Just call me in advance, say I want to go with you, and we're going. Okay? Your job is to follow your schedule, and not follow a schedule is a symptom of meaningless goals. If you all worked at AT&T, did I just date myself? Oh, no, there is AT&T still. Okay. And IBM would have dated me, right? But AT&T, and they say, Deb, we're going to pay you $100,000 a year. What's the first question you say? What do I got to do? Right? When do I got to be there? What's my schedule? And now AT&T says, we need you to be here at 9, do this, till 11. At 12, you get lunch. The bell will ring. At 12:15, you're done. You get your 1 o'clock break. And at 3 o'clock, you're back here doing it. And you're like, great, I can do that. Okay, that is a system that they have created that they know if they run you through that system, you will be productive to their company. Your schedule is your system. that creates productivity in your company. Now, what do most of us do? I'm a realtor, so I have what? Freedom. Do whatever I want, right? Okay. How about wanting to make money as opposed to be broke? Okay, most of us say we want to make money, but we don't do the activities we need to do to make money. Okay, and the activities we need to do to make money are create a schedule and follow it. Accept the fact that prospecting appointments are as important as listing appointments. You cannot do one without the other. Anybody who's spent any time with me has heard me say, if you prospect, nothing else matters. If you don't prospect, nothing else matters. Okay? No, you don't understand. Jesus, I have an escrow. Oh. Don't prospect. Because what happens to escrows?
Fall out.
Oh, God, no. They close, okay? You got to change your thinking, man. What are you thinking? Okay, no. Escrows close. They don't fall out, okay? Oh, my God. We got a lot of work to do, folks, okay? But escrows close, all right? And then you go into what is commonly known in the real estate world as the, oh, look, someone knew that one. Okay. As the hey, I have an escrow. Oh, my God, it closed. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Oh, my God, I got an escrow. You don't understand. I'm really busy. I can't. I have no time. Oh, it closed. Now I can do all this prospecting because I got nothing to do. And then I got an escrow. Things are good. Things are good. Things are good. It fell out. Okay?
It does happen.
It does happen. But don't plan for it. I mean, what I have, folks, I have escrows on my own. I have escrows with you people. If I have one fall out, I'm like, oh my God. That is like earth-shattering to me.
Right.
It is a total surprise.
Yep.
I can't believe this happened, but I move on. I don't expect them to fall out. I don't expect any of them to fall out. Even the biggest piece of junk escrows, and you got to see some of the garbage that rolls across my desk that I put together and others put together, that I expect everyone to close. All right, and I've said this before.
That's right.
It's a horse race. Sometimes that horse dies somewhere around the 100-yard line before the finish line, and what do? You get off the horse, you grab it, and you drag it across the finish line. Somehow, some way, you get them closed. And only when it's like, nope, it ain't going to happen. That's when you're like, okay, I did everything to make sure that thing closed. It fell apart. Moving on. Okay? Not, well, it fell apart. Escrows fall out. No, they don't. Escrows close. We get paid for what we do. When do you get paid? When they close. What's the most important day of the week? Escrow closing day, right? Because that's when we get paid. Amir teases me all the time because I have an escrow close at 3 o'clock. I'm here at 4:30 going, where's my check?
Amen.
He's like, dude, relax. I'm like, nope. Give me my check. Right? Now, he'll give it to me, and then I'll sit in his office till 6 o'clock, and we'll just talk and hang out, and then next morning I'll put it in the bank. But I want it the day it closes. Okay? And that's the beauty of this office. That's the beauty of using our escrow and all these other things. That we get paid. I mean, immediately. It's awesome. All right? I am not used to that philosophy, but I'm really getting used to it. And there has not been one escrow that I've closed here that I was not here the day of the closing saying, I'd like my check. All right? Now, some days I really need the money, and some days I don't. But either way, it's mine. Okay? And you guys should...
Do it automatically, like direct deposit to you?
No, I want a paper check in my hand. I want to open that envelope, count the zeros, be like, let's do this, okay? I take pictures of most of my checks, and I send them to my wife, like, woohoo, look at this one. Right? All right? Choice is your enemy. Okay, if you wake up and you have a choice of what you're going to do that day, you're in big trouble. Am I going to go to work or am I going to stay home? That's the freedom that most agents struggle with every day. And what is the number one choice they make? Stay home. Well,
Unless they walk their dog.
Yeah. I'm going to go to work right after I walk my dog. And they walk the dog, and then they come in, they see the pile of laundry, and they go, oh, I should probably start that laundry while I'm in the shower, getting ready to go to work. Right? So they start the laundry, they get in the shower, they come out, and they go, well, I should throw it in the dryer, right? And then I got to wait for it because then it's going to get wrinkled. And if I don't take it out of the dryer, right, and then I got to iron, right, and I got to do, and then I got to put it all away, I got to fold it. Now it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like, well, I should eat lunch, right? So they go eat lunch, and they come back. Now they're fully dressed, like they're in their real estate clothes, right? And now they've eaten lunch. They're a little tired, a little sleepy, maybe ate a little too much, right? And oh, I'll just take a break. And then they watch Judge Judy or something on TV. And next thing they know, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and the kids start coming home from school. And then they got to make dinner. And then someone comes home and says, how'd your day go? I'm like, oh, I was so busy all day long. Prospect first thing in the morning, before you do anything else, period. Okay, here are some reasons why. When do you have most energy?
Morning.
First thing in the morning. There are fewer distractions. More people are receptive in the morning. Why is that? Because they have more energy and fewer distractions. Oh, it's a vicious circle, folks. Talk to people when they're ready to be spoken to. Some of you who have done listings and have clients, have you ever spoken to a client who wanted to do business, who said, calling me in the morning wasn't, no, don't call me in the morning, no. They want to do business, they're ready to do business. So when you call someone and they say, do you know what time it is? Why are you calling me so early in the morning? Do they want to sell their house? No. All right, don't take that personal, move on. Find someone who says, why, you're calling me at 9 o'clock in the morning? Come to think of it, I do want to sell my house. All right, I have a friend who starts calling in Florida at 7:30. 7:30 in the morning. He's done at 11. His average active listings right now is 20. And if he doesn't have 10 escrows, he's freaking out. But he gets on the phone every morning at 7:30 in the morning. I am not telling you to do this. But his philosophy is, if they don't want to sell their house, they're going to be mad that I called them at 7:30 in the morning. But if they do want to sell their house, they don't care what time it is. Okay? Are people going to be mad because you called them? Of course they are. But have you ever met somebody who wanted to sell their house who was upset that you called them and said, I can sell your house? Because I haven't, and I've been doing this a long time. Okay? I want to sell my house, but call me at 3 o'clock. We'll talk then. Okay? The only time I've ever had that was a doctor. And he said, I'm an ER surgeon. I'm a little busy right now. Can you call me after my shift? I'm like, sure. Okay? Outside of that, and I mean, God only knows what a little busy to an ER doctor is, right? And he was an ER surgeon, so he was like probably knee deep, like, and still answering his phone because I was his realtor. Like, hey, Van, can I call you back? I'm a little busy. I was like, yeah, absolutely, doc, no problem. Okay? That's how important home sales are to people. Everyone struggles with their schedule in the afternoon because they have not scheduled specific monitorable activities. Okay, if you don't schedule your whole day, you start to struggle later on in the afternoon. All right, me included. I am scheduled through lunch, but after that, I always leave my schedule open and say, well, you know what? Things are going to come up, and I'm going to be there. Okay, I'm going to be available. I'm going to be ready for whatever happens. So what we start doing is we start running into this excess free time, or the world starts coming down around you and you start struggling with days. And all of a sudden, it's 7 o'clock and you're still at the office. And you're like, where'd the day go? Okay? When you don't complete your prospecting in the morning, you carry the guilt of it around with you all day long. Just like exercising. All right, who here in the morning exercises? Right? You feel great, right?
Yep.
You do it, it's like, it's fantastic, it's done. How do you feel when you don't? Terrible, right? You're like, right? You kind of come down on yourself. And
nothing goes right in the rest of my day if I don't work out.
Yeah.
in the morning.
And you get a bad attitude. but it's what I call climbing into the cyclone. Okay, and it's this stacking effect that happens. That it's like, okay, I didn't make it to the gym. I'm not as pumped up as I'd like to be. This is happening, that's happening. Oh man, I can't believe I got to do this. And you start to add all these things on top of yourself that are bad, as opposed to getting stuff done first thing in the morning that are positive, and you start finding the positives in these things. It's also what I call doing your 3-a-days. You've heard me talk about that, your 3-a-days, which is three goals, 3 gratitudes, and 3 intentions for the day. All right, 3 gratitudes. Every morning, wake up and just think of 3 things that you're happy for. Health, my health, my wife, my career. Okay, and find something every day. Every day can be different and should be different, because there's plenty to be grateful for. But the more gratitudes that you can find, the more you look for, the more things come your way. All right, and that comes from, I believe that was my coach Brennan Bouchard was telling us about that in Habits of Highly Productive People. And he talks about, you talk to any of these people, they sit down, they have diaries and they have journals that they write their gratitudes down for. All right.
What's the other 3?
What was the third one? You said goals,
Oh,
gratitudes, and
intentions. So goals can be long-term, short-term. Intention is what do you plan to do that day? And an intention can be follow my schedule. A goal can be set an appointment. Okay, because an intention is something you plan to do. A goal is something that you put an end date on. Okay? Most people in real estate never really work hard. Okay, now, come on. How many hours do we really work in a day? How many hours do you really work in real estate a day? Could you imagine really putting in 8 solid hours every day like you would at any other job? Like an ER surgeon does at their job, that they are hopping 8-10 hours on their feet all day long. Okay? Now, some of us think we do. I would love to believe I do, but I still know. Every day I come home like I could have worked harder. And that's okay. Okay, it's okay to be in that situation. If you think you work in 8 hours a day, God bless you. Okay? But take a good hard look at your schedule and see what you're doing day by day, minute by minute. Brendan told me about a year ago, schedule your day in 15-minute increments. Okay? You'd be surprised how you spend your day. My wife is a nutritionist and has people, her clients, the first thing she does with them is that hands them a journal and says, do 7 to 10 days, write down everything you eat. Make a food journal. Monday through Sunday, everything you eat. 6 potato chips, 6 kernels of popcorn, a Pop-Tart, this or that, a Twinkie, blah, blah, blah. Most of her clients, and she'd be okay with me saying this, fall off somewhere around day 4 because they don't like what they see. Okay, and that's what the scorecard is based on. Okay, everyone goes, do I have to do every one of these things every day? What's been my answer? Yeah. Okay, do you? No. Hope I didn't say it for too many people. But no, you don't have to do it you're not going to get kicked out of the contest. But what I want you to do is understand when you look back and you look at your scorecard and say, what did I do on Monday? Because those are money-generating activities. Did I do enough? Did I do 1? All right, and it's that idea of what am I doing? And then when you look at it, you go, I did 1 thing. All right, I sent out 10 pieces of mail. How long did that take me? If that's the only thing that you did to generate money that day, how long did that take you, and how many hours did you really work in that day? Because remember, if you prospect, nothing else matters. If you don't prospect, nothing else matters. Mental toughness is doing what you are supposed to do even on the days you don't feel like it. Who has one of those, right? Getting up to go to the gym at 4:30 in the morning is sometimes an absolute nightmare. Okay?
Early. Are you a morning person or dawn?
Now I am. Why so early? Because I'm a slow mover in the morning. I wake up at 4:30. I'm ready to go by 5. My gym class starts at 5:30. I got to be back in my house by 7, showered, eat breakfast. Now it's 8:15. I got to get to the office by 8:30, 8:45. All of a sudden, every morning, I'm running into the office, driving sideways, right, skidding in at 8:45. Like, I got to be here, and I've been up since 4:30 in the morning. I don't know how people wake up and go to work, and like, oh no, I don't get up till 8 o'clock. I'm in the office by 9. Like, how? All right, it takes me. I have no idea how you do that. Discipline is the ability to make and keep promises to yourself. Oh. Your destiny and business growth are your responsibility and no one else's. Okay, remember we said you're free? You have freedom in this business? You're free to be broke too. Okay? If you don't sell anything, what happens?
You don't make anything.
You don't make anything. But does Amir call you and say, hey, you haven't sold anything? Can I help? No. We're 100% brokerage. All right? At my last brokerage, they charged you $600 a month just to be a part of the brokerage. Okay? So you were free there too. As long as your credit card cleared on the 1st. If it didn't clear, I got a call from Jen. Hey, how's it going? I think we need another card. That one, we seem to have a problem with that card. No, I didn't make any money last month, so I'm not paying. How would that have gone over? Not good, right? So I'm free until I can't pay my bills, right? The office before that was a KW office. That was $100 a month. Same thing, right? At KW, you were just a number. They didn't even care who you are. You didn't even need a license to start getting charged monthly.
Really? Oh my God.
Okay? Once you said you were in, they were like, great, sign here, we'll charge you, and when's your license coming? 6 weeks? Fantastic. Right? And all of a sudden, $89 a month starts coming out. Okay?
And then you got FEMAX.
Yeah, free Mac, yeah. So here we're 100% brokerage, and people are like, this is awesome. I don't have to pay anything. It's like, but it doesn't matter. Because what are we generally created as human beings? Survivalists. Okay, we are generally survivalists. Like a squirrel. You hear me talk.
I'm listening to your tutorial. And
That's great. I appreciate that. We're running a class, okay? So, but what are we normally? Survivalists. What is a squirrel? A survivalist. Right? How many nuts does a squirrel keep in the bank? None. He goes as he needs them until winter comes, and then they store just enough to make it through winter. Right? And then once winter is over, they come out, they poke their little head out like, all right, I'm gonna go need some more nuts. They don't have like a freeze dryer for all their nuts for like the next 10 years. And most of us, we have bank accounts. I was watching a comedian last night, and he said, yeah, my bank, he says, I'm so broke, when I put $200 in my bank, the bank puts a hold on it. And they say there's, strange activity in your account. Someone's deposited money in there, right? Who lives by that too, right? But the idea is we have the ability to kind of save money. And I kid with people. You've heard me say, every now and again I'll be talking to someone else, I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut, man, right? And it's that idea, like what are you doing? Remember always, treat your family and your health as your most important clients. Who's most important in your world? Your husband and your son, my wife, and my mom. Okay? But who is the most important people in your world? When they need you, you need to be able to take care of them. Okay? Now that said, when you get on an airplane, what do they teach you?
Take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself first. What's the first thing you're supposed to do when those oxygen masks fall? Put it on you, then take care of anybody around you. Okay? Same thing in business. If you are a success, you can take care of everybody. If you are a failure, all you can do is clean their house. Because you got plenty of time. But if you're a success, you can do anything to help your family. Got to go to school? No problem. Don't feel well? No problem. Got a dirty house? I'll send someone over. Okay? Want to come visit? I'll send you a plane ticket. Take care of yourself first. It's amazing what you can do for others when your house is in order. Have your schedule ready the night before, and I talk about this all the time, so you can start your day. Put everything on it you're supposed to do and review it. All right? If you look at your schedule the night before, like the last thing you do before you go to sleep, and then you go to sleep, what are you doing? You're sleeping on it. Okay, what does everybody say? I got to think about that. I'm going to sleep on it. How about every night you go to sleep and say, okay, tomorrow I'm calling expireds. I'm going here. I'm going to have an appointment. I'm going to do brokers open. And then you go to sleep and you think about those activities. Folks, you might even dream about them. But chances are you're going to come up, you're going to wake up with new and fresh ideas that you may not have even had before you went to sleep.
Or you won't be freaked out. Oh my God, what I gotta do tomorrow? I can't sleep.
Right, or you're not freaked out.
I got this elephant because I didn't call yesterday and I feel like crap.
Right, or I mean, how many people have had that where you're like, oh my God, I forgot to do this. Write it down. All right, if you look on my phone schedule, I have like schedules and all this, but if I have to make a phone call that I forgot to make the night before, I'll put it in. And I'll just write it in. And in the morning, I always, anytime you walk in my office, I have my schedule on my computer in front of me. And I'm staring at it. And obsessing over it, making sure I'm doing everything that's on it. Right? And I still probably only get about 60 to 70% done that's on my schedule. Yes, ma'am?
With schedules, how do you take care of the emergencies that come up with clients and transactions and
Phone calls.
throughout the day?
Okay. With schedules, how do you take care of the crazy? Okay. Number one, if you erase, you must replace. So if you say, hey, I have to take this out because I got to go handle this, fine. Find another place to put it. But again, if you schedule your time, now I'm not telling you to schedule every 15 minutes. Schedule your bulk activities, and you will see that there's time available. Okay, how many, we've all done business with agents when we call, and you get that message that says, I return phone calls between 2 and 3 o'clock on, every day, right? Now someone's like, oh, I can't believe that, right? But they're probably pretty successful agents that were calling when they're doing that. And if you don't want to do that, then it's okay to, on your 15-minute break in prospecting, you make a couple phone calls to get back. All right, folks, I have tons of things being thrown at me all day long, just as all of you do. I'm able to kind of handle it going through. Some days you get pulled off your schedule. Like I just said, I obsess over following my schedule and probably hit 60 to 70%. But it's in there. All right, and when I don't get it done, I look back on the next day and I carry it forward. Okay, are we going to get pulled off our schedule and like totally pulled in different directions? Yeah. Okay, I just hired an assistant. It's the greatest thing I ever did. All right, I have her 10 hours a week. It's not a long time, but it's 10 hours that I fill her day with stuff that I need to do that I don't have time for. Yesterday, I paid her for 3 hours to watch YouTube videos. And I said, today is not going to feel like work. And she's like, okay. I said, but it is, and it's super important. This is what I need you to do. I told her exactly what to do, and she sat there with her headphones in, and you guys saw her on the check-in, right? She was just sitting there listening to videos, watching everything, taking notes, and at the end of the day, she turned around and she's like, all right, I got it. this is what we need to do. And went through the whole plan for me. I'm like, fantastic. All right, I don't have 3.5, 4 hours to sit in my office and watch YouTube videos. And I told her, I said, right now we're in a growing stage that she is a drain on me, all right? She's a monetary hemorrhage. I am paying her to learn, okay? But once she knows it, and she knows these tasks that we need to do that I'm not all that familiar with, that I'm paying her to learn, I am going to monetize her time because she's going to turn around and start making money for me by knowing what to do. So it's an investment today for a return tomorrow, okay? It has taken me 10 years to come to grips with that. Every coach I've ever had, every broker I've ever worked with has said, stop doing the $10 an hour work. And I'm like, okay, great, right after this, right? I'm just gonna do this, and they come in and I'm folding envelope, I'm folding letters, and they're like, are you kidding? Like, oh, no. And now I'm stamping, right? And they're like, Van, like, what are you doing? Right? Pay someone to do that. Oh, you know what that does to my mailers, my mailing overhead? $10 an hour. That's going to add, like, do something else that's going to make you money, that it doesn't matter what it costs. I'm not telling you all to hire an assistant, but at some point, you're going to say, this makes a lot of sense. Okay? Someone had a question. Yes?
What do you use to track your time on your schedule?
What do I do what?
What do you use to actually, like, track your time and, like, log in your time?
What schedule do I use? I use iCal on my iPhone.
What's it called?
I use the scheduler that comes on my iPhone. iCal, I-C-A-L. And it's a calendar. It's on my phone. It's on my MacBook. It's on my iMac. It's everywhere. I still can't get my Google Calendar to talk to it, so I just use iCal. But Google Calendar, that's another one that people love to use, and then you can schedule things and do all sorts of stuff with it. But the idea is, whatever you're going to use it. And use it like this is what I do, okay? Lion Desk hooks into Google Calendar. So if you do it on Lion Desk, it's in Google Calendar, it's everywhere. Pick one and use it. Clean and organize your desk before you stop at the end of the day. This makes starting easier. Every now and again, you'll walk in my office and it looks like a bomb hit it, right? Every now and again. Or what I think it looks like a bomb hit it. Most people walk in like, this office is super clean.
Yep.
All right? Amir's little daughter came in the office one day, and she walked in my office and turned to Amir and said, why is that office so clean? And I'm like, thanks, kid. But I keep everything around me very clean and organized because I want to be able to find it. All right, and I still feel unorganized. My sister was a bookkeeper, and I would walk into her office, and it was just like piles of paper everywhere. And I'd ask her about something, she's like, oh, that's over here. And she'd walk over like this pile and like climb up on a ladder and like be pulling it down. I'm like, if it falls, we're all gonna go, But that was her organization. Find a way to organize yourself, whether or not it's in your briefcase, where you're carrying around, because a lot of us don't have offices. We have our carrying office. Get yourself a briefcase that's totally organized with files, your computer, everything you need. And when you sit down, you can open up and be in business. Not, I got it here somewhere. It must be in my car. Oh, I think I left it home. All right, that and your computer desktops. All right, anyone want to see an organized computer desktop? Come to my office. Okay, I have probably 15 to 20 icons on my computer. Active clients, all my real estate stuff, some personal files, and then you go in there and I can find everything. You people, I'm going to say this in general, you people who have icons that cover your entire computer screen and you can't find anything, and there's folders and JPEGs and PDFs and everything is scattered all over your screen, you are costing yourself so much time and mental anguish with looking at that, as opposed to having it filed and knowing, like, if I need a logo, I go to my 2019 graphics folder. go down. I have it in West Shores WSR logos, Mizzi Group logos, portraits. I open my portraits. I have all of my portraits since 2014. And I can open up each one and decide which photo I want to use that day. Okay, can you? That's when I ask people, the other day when we were doing the listing presentation, I said, bring a photo. And I got phone calls. Where would I find this photo? I'm like, it's a picture of you. Like, can I just take one with my iPhone? Like, you don't have one that you use all the time, like that constantly shows like who you are and what you do? Well, no. Should I have a photo done? Yeah, have a real estate photo done, but better yet, have one done every year. Number one, it does amazing things for you as far as your staying within your weight category. Because you get a photo back that you're like, oh my God, I'm huge, right? You go on that diet, you come back to 2018 real quick. But the idea is you keep these things because again, we're all in real estate. How many people have seen the business card of the agent that you're like,
Gary that had no hair, but it was a picture of him in high school.
yeah.
Yeah.
The best one to date I've seen, and I haven't seen it in a while, but it used to, I forget the guy's name. He would show up at all my brokers' opens. It was him, and he was kind of like leaning in, and he was in a tuxedo, and he had a corsage. And right next to him was a white veil that was cut out. It was his wedding photo from like 12 years ago. And now it was like 20 years ago. All right?
Oh, geez.
Look, folks, you don't want to be Benjamin Bratt on your photos where all of a sudden it's like, wow, you look like 20 years younger, Keep yourself there. Keep yourself up to date. Go to bed at the same time every day. I am so regimented on this. When I have like band rehearsal or something like that and I'm out late, I'm like a train wreck because it just, but do you go to bed at the same time every night? And here's the thing, try not to watch TV to bed. All right, even if you watch TV and then you're like, okay, I got to go to bed now and turn it off and go to bed, that's one thing. But try not to leave the TV on and play through the night. A lot of us, we thought it was great when TVs came out with a timer. It's like, oh, I can put this on for an hour so I can fall asleep to, the news. Well, you do yourself a favor, okay? Don't watch the news, right? But go to bed at the same time. It creates a habit and it keeps you on track and on your schedule. When you go to sleep every night at the same time, you wake up at the same time every night. All right? And yes, I do wake up on Saturdays and Sundays around 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay? I can probably wake up without my alarm clock. I don't, but I probably could.
I wake up at 4:02 with hot flashes every day.
Well, there you go. Get up at the same time every day. Okay? Same thing. Just get yourself on a schedule. It's important for you to be regimented. Read your business plan every day because it keeps your goals and dreams in front of you. That is what the 100-Day Challenge is all about. Reviewing your daily activities every day. Keeping track, saying this is what I'm doing, this is what I got to do tomorrow, and knowing that these things go on and on and on. My goal for everyone in the 100-Day Challenge is to complete it and continue with it. Not complete it and go, woo, that was tough, okay, and I'm never doing a video again. After you do 100 videos, you better be damn good at doing videos, all right? I am planning, my wife and I just sat down today, we're planning a whole video production that I'm going to be setting up in the next couple weeks that's really going to be cool. Okay, I'm really putting together some really nice production style videos with presentations and different things. Like I'm saying a video a day. Your video does not and should not be, today's day 8 of the 100-Day Challenge. Oh my God, I'm still so nervous. Thank you so much. If you need real estate, call me. That's not doing anything for you. All right? Interview people. And even if you're not in the 100-day challenge, do this anyway. Interview mortgage brokers. Interview title officers. Amir. Okay? Escrow officers. Go in and do 30, 60, 90-second snippets with these people. Sit down, make yourself videos on what's the difference between listing with an agent and listing by owner. Okay? Why do houses expire? Not because they're overpriced. You suck. No. Why do houses expire? Okay? Think of something. Put it together so that when you're talking to an expired listing, you say, you know what? I got a video for you. I'm going to send it over to you real quick. Okay? You're talking to a new home buyer and they go, you know, let's go look at a couple houses and then we'll get pre-qualified. You know, that's a great idea. Let me share with you a video of one of my lenders that I interviewed the other day on the simplicity of pre-qualifying to go look at homes. Okay, Lion Desk, you should all be on it. You can embed the videos. All right? You can embed the videos in Lion Desk and send it as an email. Better yet, you can embed a 30-second video in a text and send it as a text. Folks, you're getting this system for free. All right? If you really step up, jump out of the box and really go for it, you pay $19.95 and it becomes unlimited. Okay? Or go to a Mike Ferry or a Tom Ferry seminar. Let them sell you on BombBomb for $3,000 a year. And you know what they're going to tell you to do? Make videos and embed them in our email. And people go, that's genius. All right? I'm giving it to you for free. All right? And I'm telling you, if you do this, videos today are the books of yesterday. And I said this on our video the other day. If you turn to somebody and say, I got a video on that, I'm going to share it with you. They're like, really? Okay, I'll watch that. Now watch this. And we talked about this too, and I'm actually speaking with editors right now. I'm publishers rather. I'm going to self-publish a book. Write a book. Right? You don't want to write a book? There are plenty of people out there writing books that allow you to buy in to chapters. Right? I just did that with a company that we're releasing a book in October that there's going to be a Vance Mizzi chapter. And it's called From Wall Street to Main Street. Right? And it's my whole idea of leaving Wall Street and coming into real estate. And it's really the catalyst to my book. Right? But it's these ideas where it's a 3-page chapter. Right? But it's going to be an Amazon bestseller. So in October, I'm going to tell you, I am a published Amazon bestseller. You know how much that cost me to do? $500. Read your business, have a goal board up in front of you in your office. List the goals you have set and the things you've accomplished, because they become very motivational and keep you on track. Okay, a lot of people, I have a dream board. Really? You went to CVS, you bought some oak tag, you sat down, you cut a bunch of pictures out, you pasted them on there on your board, and where's your dream board? Oh, it's in the closet because it's messy. Figure out a way that you're going to keep goals in front of you. Whether you write them down, you keep them on your computer screen, some way, somehow, you're going to see your goals every day and be reminded what we do. All right? Some people, their dream board or their goals are their family photos. All right? Anybody who comes in my office or sees me on screen sees a photo that's always right behind me. It's my wife walking on the beach. It's why I do this. All right? I do it for her, and I do it to live at the beach. Okay? And the idea is every time I see that, I'm like, I got to get to work. All right? She's not cheap.
They sell those boards for $19 right now. I bought 2 of them, the white boards, and I put my goals on that.
There you go. I walked into a buddy of mine, his house, really successful guy, and I only know him outside, like lunches and stuff, and then I walked into his house, and he had whiteboards all over his living room. with like sayings written on them, and I mean, almost like crazy person level. But he went, when I met him, he told me, I'm going to buy mobile home parks in different states. I'm like, mobile homes? He goes, no, the parks. I'm like, okay, right? Last time I spoke to him, he owns like 7,000 doors in mobile home parks. And when I walked into his office, it was like, I will succeed, right? You know, I'm like, dude, you like wake up in the middle of the night? He's like, yeah. Like in the middle of the night, he's in there, he's erasing stuff and writing it down, but he obsesses over it. Who in here wouldn't mind owning 7,000 doors in a mobile home parks?
It's like $100,000 a month.
Yeah. And he said, he's like, yeah, he goes, you know, I think last time I spoke to him, he was at like 50 parks that he owned, because you know, some of them are small, but he owns them. And then he's getting investors, and he's like, do you want to buy in? And I'm like, I don't know. I had no idea there was this much money in mobile home parks, you know, like.
Every month.
But he and I were talking. I'm like, you want to do what? Like, are you crazy? And he's like, oh, you have no idea. And
It's like the mafia, because you can raise up the rent as much
Yeah.
as you want. The people don't vote on it.
And 5 years later, I mean, this guy is just rolling in dough, rolling in dough.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Find a strong accountability partner. Now, I can tell you, he told me this over lunch. I never asked him. He's like, yeah, my goal is to own 250 mobile home parks. I want to be the #1 owner of mobile home parks in the United States. I'm like, okay. But I can guarantee you this. Almost everybody he talks to knows that. Because he uses his goals to find accountability. All right, what if every time you walked up to somebody, you would, no, don't walk up to people at Vons and be like, I need to list a house today, that's my goal. But if you, all of your friends know, I'm looking to list 1 house a week, that's my goal. Every week I list a house. Or every month I list 1 house, I sell 1 house. Every month, that's what I do, every month. You know what, if a mobile home park comes for sale, I know who to call. Because there's a good chance Andrew's going to be interested in it.
Does he build them too? Like buy the land and then?
No, he just buys them.
Cash flow.
He buys them existing and cash flows them. But the idea is, if everyone you know around you, and I take him seriously, takes you seriously as a real estate agent, because they see you working, staying on schedule, staying on point, and when you're talking to me like, yeah, my goal is to list a house every month. If they find somebody in LA, in Long Beach, in Hermosa Beach, who says, yeah, I'm thinking about selling my house, are you top of mind awareness? Do they say, I know somebody who's trying to do, you know, let me introduce you. This might work for you. Okay? Do your numbers daily at the same time. Allow 15 minutes at the end of your day to complete this. Again, this is the 100-day challenge. All right? It's sitting down every day and completing your scorecard. Linda, I love the fact that you and I sat down yesterday. Lisa, I'm sorry. That we sat down the other day, yesterday, and you're like, where is this thing? Right? And I'm like, go to the bottom. Oh! I never even went there, right? Now, her scorecard, by the way, I opened it up the other day. I'm like, oh my God. All right? Under the business plan, she wrote out everything that you've got going on. Or maybe, I don't even know if it's everything.
Deals that close.
But deals that close, deals that are coming. And I was like, this is amazing. If I asked everybody to do that, it would have been a mass shutdown because people would be like, I can't do all that. But in your own head, you needed to get that out on paper. Right? Now getting into the scorecard, I say, okay, now go into the scorecard because last week is blank. And I know you didn't do it. You didn't not do any of that. And she's like, oh, I didn't even see that there. Okay, now she's getting into that. And folks, you better watch out because she's going to start kicking ass in points. But the idea is follow this stuff and do it every day. When you look at a scorecard and you got to fill it in for the week, it's like, ugh, I can't do this. When you look at the scorecard at the end of the day, and you're like, what did I do today? It's a lot easier to fill in. All right, and that's what I'm saying. By Lisa actually sitting down and doing her whole year, most people would be like, I can't do that. I don't even remember what I did last month, let alone, what deal, how much money, what was this, what was that, all right? But daily, it's nothing, okay? There's a saying that says, mile by mile it takes a while, inch by inch it's a cinch. Mile by mile it takes a while, but inch by inch it's a cinch. And the idea is mile by mile. If you look at it and it's like, oh my God, I got to walk a mile. Someone's like, phew, I can't do that. How about take your first step? What's the old ancient proverb? Every journey starts with one step. It's that idea that inch by inch, anything can be done. All right, after our kickboxing class, whenever there's a new guy in the room, in the locker room, I always tell him, like, dude, you can do anything for an hour. Just keep thinking that when you're halfway through. You can do anything for an hour. They're not asking you to do this for 3 hours. It's 60 minutes. Show up, work your tail off, and then go home. And you're like, oh, yeah, okay. But you're going to hurt from head to toe tomorrow. Create affirmations to support your schedule. For example, my schedule is effective in bringing me results. I make money every day. Or, what are you looking to do? I'm losing weight. Not, I want to lose 20 pounds. I'm doing it. I'm losing weight. Every day I'm losing weight. Every day I'm eating well. All right. The funniest thing I ever talk to people when they're like, yeah, I don't eat healthy. I'm like, what? Yeah, I don't eat healthy. I don't like to eat healthy. Well, what do you mean you don't eat healthy? Like, what? That's like going to the gas station and being, it's $4 a gallon, so just put sand in there. It'll be fine. Like, think about that, man. Like, if you had a Ferrari, you'd only put premium gas in it. Well, again, now here's this. Remember, we all get the 1,400 minutes a day. We all get the same body. What do you do with it? Okay, some people are like totally in shape and happy and got everything going on. Some people are like, oh my God, I can't walk 2 miles. 3-mile walk, can't do it. Won't do it. All right, I remember when I was 265 pounds, going bald, diabetic, sick as a dog. My wife would say, let's go for a walk. It's like, let's not.
Were you smoking too then?
What? No.
No, that's okay.
Oh, look at this. Watch what you eat, because eating incorrectly can screw up your schedule. It also screws up your mind. Okay, I found a couple years ago, my wife and I tried this thing called the Virgin Diet, and it's you cut all this food out. You cut all these foods out for 30 days, and then after 30 days, you start adding them back in. And I'm an Italian kid from Brooklyn. I'm from Long Island, okay? From Long Island. And I found that pizza is my enemy. I mean, it gives me drastic nightmares, cold sweats in the middle of the night, makes me irritable. I'm angry all the time, and I'm just a nasty individual, period. I thought that was because I was from New York. Honest to God, right? And every now and again, I'll say, we'll go out for pizza. My wife will only take me for pizza for lunch, because we need the rest of the day to work this off. Because if I eat pizza at night and then we go to sleep, I wake up the next morning and I am just not a pleasant person. And I'm telling you what, in New York, I was not a pleasant person, but I lived on pizza and cheeseburgers.
Oh, God.
Okay? And I was always mad. I was nasty. I was short-tempered. You people know me. Am I short-tempered? No. right? I have like patience of a saint now, okay? I mean, I really do, all right?
We'll give you a month.
But when I was eating pizza, I would fly off the handle. And screaming, yelling at people, throwing stuff around. And it was just, I thought that was my personality. And when I started cutting foods out, I started realizing my personality was not that. It was the food I was putting in, which is scary. I'm telling you, I'm honest to God. It is scary what some foods do to you. It is absolutely frightening. Create a magnificent morning. I don't know how much more time I can spend on what you do in the morning. But here it is. Rise early. Start your day in control. When we wake up late, we seem to be chasing the day. There is no trouble getting up early. The challenge is going to bed early. The first hour of the day is the rudder of the day. If you have a good morning, you'll have a good day. Control your thoughts. Your control, your destiny. I have done so much on the videos. We're going to do more on thought control. Okay, or brainwashing. Some of us can use a good wash of our thoughts, okay? And that's why, like, I seek out seminars, I seek out going to things, because I say, you know what, I got to get cleaned up. You know, I just need to go and get re-energized in real estate or business management or something like that. The Real Estate Expo is coming. September 15th or 25th. Okay, it's the RE Expo. Make sure you go to that.
Where is it?
It's downtown LA. It's the convention center. But they have seminars you can go and sit in for free. They have a paid day that you can go to. All right, folks, this is something that you're paying for as a realtor, as a California Association of Realtor member. Make sure you're participating in that. Go walk the floor, you know, the vendor floor. Right, all of our vendors will be there. You'll see Susie there, you know, from Fidelity Title. You'll see all these people, Fidelity Home Warranty. You'll see title officers. You'll see all these different people there. But go and talk to them and get yourself cleaned up. Get in an environment that's happening, okay? Do appointments with yourself in the morning and appointments with others in the afternoon. Oh. Rest and relaxation time, exercise time, meditation and prayer time, prospecting, healthy breakfast, lead follow-up. Generally speaking, we will keep the appointments in the morning. Do not be conformed to the world. Be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Okay? If anybody has tried meditating, it's amazing what you can do. If you haven't, you should. I heard you talking about a app the other day. What was the name of the app? What is it?
Headspace.
Headspace. Yeah. It's a great app that you can log into. You can, if you don't want to do an app, go on YouTube and just type in guided meditation. All right, and then pick how long you want to do it for. 30 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 minutes. Every now and again, I'll be like totally psychoed out at my house, right? I'm like, okay, I'm losing my mind. And my wife will turn to me like, let's meditate for 10 minutes. I'm like, are you insane? You know, and she's like, oh, it'll be good for you. I'm like, all right, let's try it. And I'll sit down and the first 3 minutes, I'm like, and I'm just stiff like a board, right? And she's like, just relax. Everything's fine, right? And by 10 minutes, I was getting up like, okay, this wasn't bad. We should do more of that. And she looks at me, she's like, yes, you should. And then I don't do it for like 3 weeks, okay? But I know it works. Yes, ma'am.
Alexa or the what is that? Alexa machine?
Skynet, yeah?
No.
Yeah.
And they have it for free.
There you go. Yeah, hey Alexa, relax. You know, let's meditate. Okay, and then she comes on. Or Siri, I'm sure, if she heard me, okay. I'm sure Siri's got a meditation thing in there as well. But it's everywhere, folks. Why do you think Alexa, Amazon, is promoting? Because it's what you should be doing, okay? Time block. When we went over this, time blocking is so important. Okay, time block your days, time block your weeks, time block your months. Put in your birthdays, you know, friends, family birthdays. that you want to celebrate, that you want to send stuff to on Facebook. All right. Here's something. If your birthday has passed and we're friends on Facebook, you most likely got a set of memes from me. Memes, photos on your thing. You know, I have the Hollywood sign that says happy birthday. I got a sign that I'm saying happy birthday. And I created all those things so that when someone's birthday pops up, I can just go, boom, done. Right? It's a time saver, but even more so, it's a personalized time saver. Right? Create stuff like that for people that shows that you're thinking about them. All right? Think win. What's important now? Wouldn't that be amazing if all we did was say what's important now, and we scheduled our time like that? Because what's important? Prospecting, right? Again, if you're prospecting and you're generating business, we have TCs that can handle the paperwork, right? We have escrow officers that can handle the escrow. Our job is to be what's known in sales as being the rainmaker. Okay? If you're prospecting, what's important now, you can hire someone to do any other task. Okay? Oh, no. Nobody can do it as good as I can. You're right. That's why you hire somebody and you teach them exactly what you would do in that situation. It takes you 6 to 9 months to pay them, and then they're off and running, doing what you need done. Okay? Take a look at some of these massive agencies around town. Right? Individual agents. Kasky and Kasky. Kaminsky. Raju. Are they talking to all their clients? No. But their name is on all their listings. Okay? Why? Because they have learned that, you know what, as busy as I am, I can be busier if I hire on help. It all starts with a personal assistant and grows from there. Personal assistant, listing agent, selling agent, showing agent, licensed personal assistant. So then you can task them on finding listings and showing properties. And then when they're too busy, you hire someone else on, and you hire someone else on. Right? And now you've got this team of agents working. I mean, Hoffman Murphy, right? They are an army, folks. I remember when it was the two of them in my office. All right, 10 years ago, it was two. Hoffman, Murphy, back to back. Okay? Now they would fill this room with their team. Okay, they'll do 100 transactions this year as them. But did they? No. But they're getting the credit for it. And that is our ability to do. Now here's the thing. Again, you're in 100% office. Okay? I can afford programming. My wife won't let me watch any dramas on TV. She got rid of our TVs, I tell you that. But any drama like car screeching or anything like that, she's like, oh, can you turn that off? Okay? So we watch, like, what's that new show, Bring the Funny?
Yes.
All right, you know, oh my God, it's hilarious. Bring the Funny, it's like silly shows like that. Because if we're going to watch something, we're going to sit there and laugh, and we're going to kind of laugh and elbow each other and that whole thing. You know, other people are like, oh no, I have to watch This Is Us. Really? There's not enough drama in your life? You need to watch someone else's drama? Oh my God, you poor thing. But get leverage on yourself. You are a computer. Would you download a virus, knowingly download a virus into your computer today? No. So why on earth would you watch negative programming? Because the minute you see something negative, it burns an indelible mark in your brain that you constantly go back to. Okay? And that is scary, but it does. All right? And when you close your eyes, what do you see at night? My brother is a huge horror movie fanatic. He collects horror movie posters and from the 50s, 60s, 70s, but he watches just the most drastic movies. So one night, he's out here on vacation with us, and he and his wife, and we're sitting around talking. He says, I don't know. Well, I'm talking about the pizza giving me nightmares, right? We're having that conversation. He goes, yeah, I wake up in cold sweats and nightmares too. I said, well, Vin, not for nothing, but what are you watching every night? No, it's not that. It's not that. I'm like, I think it is, right? And I know it is, but what are you putting in your brain every morning? What do you read? Do you read? Okay, what are you looking at? When you're on social media, what are you reading? Are you actually spending any time reading and interacting with political posts today? Because if you are, you're a fool. If you are, you're a fool. I've said it, okay? Get out of the political realm of the world because it has no impact on you. Do what is going to impact your world. If I don't change, what will my life be like? Ask yourself that every now and again. Okay, the law of clarity. The clearer you are about your goals and objectives, the more efficient you will be in achieving them. Do you know exactly what you want this year to look like? Do you? Really? How many deals do you want to do this year? You don't know. You don't know. Eyes went up? You don't know. You had to think about it. How many deals do you want to do? 12. How much money you want to make? $250,000. That's how clear you need to just be, boom, on it. And I'm not calling you out on it, but how many people are clear in their goals? What is your average price point? $1 million. Not about $1 million. $1 million. Okay, that means I make $25,000 a deal. Okay, I want to do 12 deals. That's 300 grand, folks. I'm giving myself some leeway. All right, I want to make 250. If I make 300, am I okay?
Yeah.
If I make 500, how am I doing?
Awesome.
Doing great, right? If I make 150, how'd I do? Pretty damn good, right? But I know exactly what I consider a successful year now. Right? You need to know that in your heart. Right? And my coach says in your knower. The law of priorities. Your ability to set clear and accurate priorities on your time determines the entire quality of your life. How much priority do you put on prospecting? How much priority do you put on following your schedule? Or is it something that you write and then go back to? All right, how much priority do you put on your business plan? Okay, most people will write a business plan, me included, put it in the top drawer, or better yet, in the bottom drawer.
On your board.
Yeah, on your board, but I'll put it in my bottom drawer, and I'll go back to it a year later. Sometimes I find them, and I'm like, oh, like Indiana, right? I'm like, right? Here it is, right? Wow, you know, I hit some of these, and then you're surprised by it. By putting a priority on it where it's like almost the golden ticket framed on your office wall, and now all of a sudden it means something. Okay, how much priority do you put in that? How much priority do you put in your relationships with your family? Okay, anyone who has a dog has a number one priority. What is it? Walk the dog. Okay, okay, and that's number one priority every morning. Walk the dog. Every morning, every night, and sometimes during the day, right? I got to go home. I got to go walk the dog. Really? I don't have a dog. Like, how do you, you got to take care of the dog. Okay. What about your business? How come I don't hear people saying, I got a prospect? Okay. No, I got to walk the dog. Okay, because that becomes number one priority. Law of the most valuable asset. Your most valuable asset is your earning ability. Okay, again, we're all given the same amount of time. We're all given the same body, okay? Beats per minute, we're not given the same body. Well, sort of. But heart beats, okay? Blood circulates, brain moves, okay? The mechanics are there. It's what you're going to do with it. The law of planning. Every minute spent in planning saves 10 minutes in execution. That's pretty interesting. The law of sequence. Time management enables you to control the sequence of events in your life. Has anybody done a renovation on a house?
Yep.
Right? What is one of the number one priorities?
Gotta have your scope of work.
Got to have the scope of work and getting the trades in at the right time. Sequencing it. Okay? You sequence the trades right, you can do a job that would take 6 months in 3. Some say 2. Some say 6 weeks. Okay? By knowing the sequence of events that has to take place. Because you only have to do it once. Same thing in your world here. Law of leverage. Remember, we were just talking about this with hiring an assistant or bringing somebody on to help you part-time. Certain things you do enable you to accomplish vastly more than you would if you spent the amount of time in other activities. Okay, if you spend the time in your own envelopes, now you might say, oh no, I have that time, I'm good. Okay, maybe you do. But what else could you be doing? The law of timeliness, the ability to act faster than anyone else can be their greatest asset. What is the definition of luck? Being in the right place at the right time. Being ready when something occurs. Okay? The law of timeliness is just that. The law of practice. Continuous practice of a key skill reduces the time required to perform the task and increases the output achieved. Okay, if you practice your scripts, you practice speaking to people, and you practice doing things, you get really good at it. Okay? Folks, I've been doing this, like getting in front of people and talking in groups, for 20 years. All right? Every day I do it, it's practice. Some days I'm really good at it, some days I'm not so good at it. Okay, but every day it's practice, and it gets better and better and better. Okay, I can pick up any presentation and present it like I wrote it because I've practiced speaking and working through these things so often that it's second nature. Just like I can go and sit down with anybody on a listing appointment and do a presentation. I've done it so many times. This is what I do. Okay? Personal plug. Anybody who wants to come Friday night and see my band play, okay? About 6 weeks ago, we decided to put this Jimi Hendrix thing together. And the first thing on my plate was to learn all the songs. Okay? I had to learn all these new songs. Then we walked into practice the first night, and we started totally butchering these songs, right? Trying to get through them and all this. And we all decided, we're like, if we practice every week and we bang away on this thing, it's going to be great, right? Sunday was our last true rehearsal. And we banged through all the songs. It was like, wow, this is great. You know, it's going to sound great. So we're leaving, and the drummer turns to us and says, let's get together Wednesday night and just play one more time. Because it went from practice to being fun. Like, let's just get together and do it, just because it's fun. And we were like, yeah, let's do that. So we scheduled 3 hours at a rehearsal studio, drove up there, sat down, set up, got everything ready. We played for an hour, sat down, and we were like, we're good. So we sat around, talked it up for a little bit, played a couple more songs here and there, and like, all right, let's get out of here. We'll see you Sunday. We'll see you Friday, rather. And that's the ability to practice, that you say, okay, and here's the thing. There's a time when you've practiced enough that you're like, okay, you know what? Let's put this to work now. Like, let's not overdo it. Let's put this to work. The law of time pressure. There is never enough time to do everything, but there's always enough time to do the important things. Okay, is there ever enough time to prospect? No. If you have no business, you're broke, you're going to get thrown out on your butt. Is there time to prospect? Yep, all of a sudden you come. And you know what the funny thing is? You always get a deal. You'll always be able to find that deal. Put that kind of time pressure on when you don't need it. Right? And those of you who haven't had a deal or haven't done a deal in a while, your time pressure should be so dynamic, almost oppressive to you, that I've got to get this done. All right, and then when you get it done, you're like, I did it. Now I got to do it again and again and again, and you get really into it. All right, now this is like, I don't want you to get off, but this is coaching. This is real training on sales. Don't lay back like, I did it, I'm all good. Want more, okay? Because today can change on a dime. All right. Anybody has anybody heard that the recession is coming? Okay, yeah. I heard. I was listening to one of my financial analysts last night, and he said, "Well, all right, let's talk about the recession real quick in time pressure." He said, being that we have a presidential election coming up in 15 months, we're probably not going to see anything happen in the next 15 months. After the presidential election, this is what the news is feeding us. Recession's coming. After the presidential election, with the inverted profit curve and all this other garbage that they want to throw at everybody that nobody understands, we could expect, if it was to happen in the next 18 to 24 months after the presidential election. Anyone want to do that math for me? 18 to 24 months is 2 years. 15 months is another year and a half. So what they're telling us is we may, based on numbers today, which are the best numbers we've ever seen in the history of the country, we may be looking at a recession 3.5 years from now. What are you telling your clients? Because I'm telling them, clear sales, bro. I mean, today, interest rates are down. All right? Someone says to me, oh my God, interest rates are falling, so we're going to see a tightening on the market. Really? I see that as a good thing. Okay, when do interest rates fall? When the stock market goes down. All right, stock market dumped 780 points yesterday. Martine and I were in the car today. What was the first thing? We turned the radio on. What did they say? Stock market's up 80 points today. Okay, and it's up 80 points, but that doesn't matter. Okay, because we don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about what?
Doom and gloom.
Doom and gloom, right? We want to put that indelible point of negativity in our world. The law of single handling, the ability to start and complete your most important task, determines on your productivity more than any other skill. You got to follow through with what you start. You got to follow through. Okay? 45 points to cover on this. We're at 44. Imagine if somewhere around 22 I said, and the rest are important too. We're out of time. I'm sorry. Okay, how much value would this class have been to you then? Okay, right. And then you're like, okay. What happens? The other 22 points must not matter. Okay, and if you don't follow through on everything that you start, then you fall flat in everything you do. You've got to finish what you start. And once you get a reputation for finishing what you start, you get a reputation for being successful. Success is a habit. And even more so, it's an expectation. Who has a college degree? When you went to school, the first day, did you expect to graduate, or did you go, I don't know, see what happens? You expected to graduate. So you did the necessary things that it took to graduate. And you knew 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, some 6, they're going to hand me a piece of paper and say what? I am a successful college graduate. Right? Same thing in life. Same thing in business. Did you come into real estate hoping to make a deal? Because that's what I get a lot of people saying, I just got to get a deal. No. You need a career. Okay? You need multiple deals. Okay? It only happens if you do the necessary things in place. All right? Years ago, you had to go to college and actually go to class and pass the tests and do all the work, and then you got a college degree. Okay, today, from what I understand, all you got to do is pay your fees, and they'll give you the degree, right? But the idea behind it is you don't go wondering if you're going to graduate. Maybe somewhere around year 2, you start wondering if you're going to graduate. But you go in with full expectations. But now here's this. When you go to school to be a doctor, do you expect to come out a lawyer? No. You're going to school to be a doctor. I'm going to do A, B, and C. It's going to get me X, Y, and Z, and they're going to call me Dr. X. Right? I'm going to be a lawyer. Then you're going to go to school and you're going to do these things, and that's what you're going to be a lawyer. If you're going to be a real estate agent, this is what you're going to do. Okay? And when you do this, you become a realtor. If you don't, then you went to school to be a doctor, but you decided to be an engineer. Okay, I went to school to be I came to be a real estate agent, but I decided to be an assistant or a TC or a banker or whatever you decide to do to make money. It doesn't matter, right? If a real estate agent isn't your career, it's okay. But if it is, make it a successful one and put the time pressure on your career that puts you in that position to be successful. That when you go up against some of these major players, you are a player. Okay? You know, first year in the NFL, a college graduate, a college kid walks into the NFL. All the college kids, you line up on this side of the field, and you're just going to play people who are just starting out. Or does the starting quarterback get chased by the nastiest front line they can put out there, right? Kid just graduated college, and he's being chased down by gorillas, right? And they're not saying, well, he's new, so let's leave him alone. They're like, no, we're going to kill him, okay? In our business, it's the same thing. Nobody's leaving us alone because we're new. Nobody wants to hear, well, I'm new in this business, so, be easy on me. All right? Lisa, you and I'm new in this business. I'm going to eat your lunch. It's like having the new kid walk into the cafeteria. It's like, you're new, huh? Okay. Give me your lunch money. Those shoes are kind of nice, all right? And tomorrow I'll take half of everything you have and do my homework. The law of competence. You can increase your efficiency and your effectiveness by becoming better at your key tasks. That's it. Be better. Work harder. Deserve success. You want time management? Those are the key elements. That's it. And then after you're working hard enough, you work smarter. But coming in and going, oh, I'm just going to work smarter. Well, you know what? Not for nothing. That's great, but you better work hard first. Okay, once you have your tasks down and you have your schedule down and you're looking at it and going, okay, I can't do anything more, that is when you start working smarter. Till then, you better be like a duck. And everyone knows this, okay? Paddling like hell underneath and calm as the day is long on top. Okay, because the day they see you sweat, you're gone. Okay? Know your business.
They want confidence.
They want confidence.
Get the job done.
Yeah. Dealing with another agent. If the other agent is stuttering, stammering, and like, you don't understand. This is my first deal. I'm like, I understand. Now I'm eating your lunch, okay? And that's the beauty of our business is you can walk in and be a player on the field, a major league player today. Because when you go up for a listing, it's $1 million or $500,000 or $200,000. You are a major league player. Because there's no major league player who doesn't want that deal either. All right? My average home sale price is $1 million. You think I want a $200,000 listing? Yes. Absolutely. All day long, I will take that. In fact, I've been fighting for a $225,000 listing for like the past 6 weeks. Fighting for it. Part of me, it's the thrill of the kill.
Right, again.
The other part of me is it's $5,000. I can use $5,000. Who can't?
Who cares?
Right? Who can't? I want it just as much as anyone else does. And when you put me in the game, I'm going to play to win it. And that's what everybody should be doing. And again, nothing separates you from the most successful agent in the world, because they all want the same listing. I don't know an agent. I do not know an agent that wouldn't take a listing. I don't care what it is. If they think it'll sell, they want it. Okay? And that puts you on the same level as them, because you're going for it, so are they. How are you going to handle yourself? And are you educated enough? Have you done enough education? These classes are great, I think. But no, these classes are great, but they're not the only education that you should be doing. All right? There are so many classes at the board that are available to you that you should be taking advantage of. There are so many things going on outside. Investment classes, just different seminars that you can find online, YouTube videos. You should be filling your mind with this stuff. You got nothing to watch on TV? Watch a YouTube video on real estate. Okay? Grant Cardone, Brendan Bouchard. Watch these guys' videos. Learn what these guys are saying. So when you're talking to somebody, you can say something like, well, you know what? I was listening to my coach the other night, and he said this. My business coach, okay, Jordan Belfort, was telling me this the other night. Was he telling it to you if you were listening to it on a video?
Yep.
Absolutely. Is he your coach if you're paying attention to what he's saying and doing what they're saying?
Yes.
Absolutely. The beauty of half this coaching that you can do online is it's free. All right, my wife's an online coach. You know what her coaches tell her? You give away your best stuff, and then people pay you for more information. So imagine you go online and every coach is thinking this: give away my best stuff. So the best stuff you want is online already, and that's free. Follow that mentality. Okay, Mike Ferry or Tom Ferry right now does I think it's the Tuesdays with Tom.
Yep.
Is that what it is? Right? He's been doing this for like 8 years. That's 50 weeks a year. There's over 400 videos. Right? And it's really funny because 8 years ago he was like this little kid with like dimples and
Yep.
freckles and stuff, and now he's not. Now he's like gained weight. He's got a beard. But watch these things. Mike Ferry every Monday, I think. Mondays with Mike, Tuesdays with Tom. Oh, I'm seeing a pattern. Okay? But watch these things and listen to what they're saying. Pick the black and whites. Listen to the black and white and find the gray. Okay? What Mike says and what Tom says are very different. Find your middle that you're comfortable with and use that. That's how you spend your time. That's how you benefit from the time you spend. All right? It is 5 to 12. My God, my timing is so dead on. Questions, issues, complaints, anything going on? Complaints, keep them. Questions, shoot them. Anything going on in your world that you want to talk about? Lisa first, then Deb. Yes.
How do you handle when your spouse gets up in the middle of the night because they have to go to work? That's a tough one. When you're saying, go to bed at a certain time,
Mm-hmm.
then the sleep is interrupted at about 12 o'clock.
How do you handle the restless spouse?
Yeah, the brokenness.
I'll tell what I said before when I started. I sleep. I go to bed around 9:30 and wake up at 4:30. So what is that? 7 hours?
Yeah.
7.5 hours. I might get 6 hours of sleep because I'm up all night. I wake up, I go to sleep. I wake up, I go to sleep. My wife wakes up and goes to sleep. One of us will come back to bed and go, "Are you sleeping?" So how do I handle it? Patience. I deal with it, and it's just part of the game. It's part of life. It's part of having that person by your side. You know, you're going to deal with certain things. But the best thing that I can say about any spouse, whether it be husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, is include them in what you're doing, include them in your vision, and if you ever go to a Anthony Robbins seminar or something like that, bring them. Don't think you're going to go to this mind-altering seminar and come back and be like, oh my God, you wouldn't believe what we did last year. Because your spouse is like, I've been watching TV. Like you got to include them in the world that you're creating. Okay, even if they don't want to be, just let them know. Okay, and like I said, my wife, let's meditate. Like, yeah, let's not. And she's like, no, let's just try it. You know, I'm like, oh, you know, be open. And that's my biggest thing. And if it was to give any sort of relationship ever, is be open and be supportive. And a lot of us don't have openness, and a lot of us don't get support at home. Reframe it, and you gotta turn that ship around, and that's longevity. I'm married 22 years, and with my wife almost 30. It has not all been pleasant. I've been a lot to handle. But she brought my health around. You got a question?
Well, we're just on the 100-day challenge calendar.
Yeah.
I'm trying to print it out, and I'm trying to make it, instead of getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I don't get to 5 o'clock because I'm not like you.
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. But it prints out. One page is like one column here and then a column there. So I'm going to ask.
That is a question for that young man.
Okay.
How to print Excel spreadsheets? I have no idea. There is a way to just have Ariane go through it with you, and I'm sure he can figure it out. Questions?
Jules asking, where is the best place to get information about the economy that are relevant to the real estate market?
I use Yahoo Finance, and Realtor.com has a good insight to it. And what's that?
Like sometimes Carr will send.
Carr and Inman News has a really good section on it. But I mean, if you just Google real estate finance updates, you'll get more information than you know what to do with. Any other onlines? That's it? 12 o'clock straight up. As respect to your time, I'm going to sign off. As always, it is a pleasure to do business with you people, to work with you hand in hand, arm in arm, and if you ever have a question, issue, or concern in real estate, I am here. My office hours are posted. Schedule a time with me. I want to sit down. I want to talk to every single one of you in person, one-on-one, and discuss how we can make your business a better business. Thank you, and have a great afternoon.
Thank you.